Hello everyone, kya haal hai? Welcome to today's explainer. Look, if you are dreaming of studying medicine in Italy, you already know the IMAT exam is your golden ticket. But let's be real for a second. For a lot of biology students, math can feel like a massive roadblock. Like, yaar, physics or chemistry to ho jayega, but math ka kya kare? There is absolutely no need to panic. Tension lene ki koi zarurat nahi hai. Today, we are laying down the ultimate step-by-step roadmap to cracking IMAT mathematics. We are going to decode a master strategy, literally an IITian's blueprint, to make this entire syllabus feel super easy and approachable. So let's dive right into this and turn that math anxiety into your biggest scoring advantage.
What's truly incredible here is the real-life journey behind today's strategy. This isn't just some random theory. This is the exact path taken by the creator of this blueprint, Udit Chawla. Think about his timeline for a minute. He was right where lakhs of Indian medical aspirants are every single year, stuck in that brutal NEET race. He scored 585 marks. Now, as we all know, in the Indian context, a 585 often leaves you hanging right on the edge. Ek mark pe hazaro ranks upar niche ho jati hain. But instead of giving up, came the turning point, a strategic pivot. He shifted his focus, applied a highly systematic approach, and scored a massive 77.9 in the IMAT. And the present? He is currently living his dream, studying medicine in Italy. This journey brilliantly illustrates that if one conventional door is closed, you can absolutely build your own door.
So the most crucial thing to understand is the fundamental difference in the battleground. The standard Indian route, the NEET exam, is famously hyper-competitive. It's a relentless rat race where you often have to just mug things up. On the other hand, the IMAT alternative is a highly structured international curriculum specifically designed for medical schools in Italy. Yes, it's competitive, but it tests your logical application and analytical skills rather than just rote memorization ke bas ratta maar liya aur exam de aaye. Having a clear strategic breakdown of the syllabus is your very first step to crossing this bridge successfully.
To conquer this syllabus, we are breaking it down into 5 clear steps. First, the IMAT Italy dream. Second, core numbers and algebra. Third, functions and inequalities. Fourth, stats and probability. And finally, geometry and your exact next steps.
Section 1, the IMAT Italy's dream, setting the baseline.
The reason our source material today is pure gold is because this entire blueprint is taught by an IITian. Now, why does that matter? Because when an engineering mind, especially an IITian, teaches math, they don't just give you a list of formulas and say, yaad kar lo. They give you a logical framework. They clear your fundamental fundas. You will deeply understand exactly why and how a formula works. You are learning from a highly qualified technical mind who knows exactly how to deconstruct complex, scary problems into simple bite-sized pieces. So have total confidence. Your basics are going to be crystal clear by the end of this.
Section 2. Core Numbers and Algebra. Building the Foundation.
Listen closely, because this is where the magic happens. You absolutely have to follow this exact chronological sequence. You cannot skip around. Step 1 is the number system. This is the ABCs of math, the absolute groundwork. You need to know your natural numbers, which are counting numbers like 1, 2, 3, whole numbers, which just add a 0, integers, which bring in the negative numbers, and then rational and irrational numbers. Let's use a real-world example. Think of a pizza. The whole uncut pizza is a whole number. But when you cut it and take a slice, that's a fraction, a rational number, represented in the form of P over Q. If your foundation here is weak, you can't solve complex algebra. Step 2 is logarithm. Honestly, a lot of people panic when they hear the word log, but it's literally just a game of powers. Let me give you a super simple memory hook. The base stays the base. For example, if 10 to the power of 2 is 100, then in log form, that base 10 stays at the bottom. So log base 10 of 100 equals 2. The log is simply asking you, what power do I need to give the base to get this big number? It's really that simple. Step 3 brings us to polynomials. Poly means many, and nomial means terms. This is where you deal with variables like x and y, and constants. You'll learn how to add, subtract, and multiply these expressions together, expanding brackets, things like that. And finally, step 4, linear equations. Remember y equals mx plus c from school days? These are equations that when plotted on a graph form a perfect straight line. You learn how to find the value of x when given y. Every single step here is a stepping stone. You simply cannot jump to linear equations without mastering how negative integers work in the number system first.
And that brings us to a crucial educator's tip. Master the number system to unlock the logic behind polynomials. Everything in math is interconnected. If you don't understand how multiplying two negative integers makes a positive integer, a basic number system concept, you will definitely make a silly sign error when expanding a polynomial bracket. ये छोटी-छोटी गलतियां ही marks cut करवाती हैं. Clear your absolute basics and the advanced concepts will automatically feel like a breeze.
Section 3. Functions and Inequalities. Advanced Logic.
Now, it is incredibly important to group these two specific chapters together. Conquering functions goes hand in hand with understanding inequalities. Let me break this down into very simple language. Think of a mathematical function exactly like a juicer machine in your kitchen. You put an orange into the juicer, that's your input, which in math we call the domain, and you get orange juice out, that's your output, which we call the range. Now, you obviously can't put a solid rock into a juicer, it'll break. Similarly, a mathematical function has a specific domain, a specific set of numbers it can actually accept without breaking the equation. Once you understand how this juicer works, you bring in inequalities. Unlike normal equations that have a strict equal to sign, inequalities use greater than or less than symbols. Let's look at a real-world example. Imagine driving and seeing a highway speed limit sign that says maximum speed 60. Mathematically, that means your speed must be less than or equal to 60. Otherwise, chalan ka jayega. You can drive at 40 or 45 or 59. There are multiple correct answers, not just one fixed number. In the IMAT exam, you will very often have to find the domain of a function using these inequalities. They are literally best friends in algebra. You have to study them together as a pair.
Section 4. Stats and Probability. Data Interpretation.
All right, here is the ultimate trio for statistics in the IMAT syllabus. This section requires a very unique, logical approach, not just formula memorization. Let's decode them one by one. First up, probability. What is this really? It's simply the mathematical calculation of chance. Flipping a coin, rolling a dice. The golden rule you need to remember is super simple. Probability is always your favorable outcomes divided by the total possible outcomes. If you want to roll a 6 on a standard dice, that's one favorable outcome out of 6 total faces. So the probability is 1 over 6. Very straightforward. Next is central tendency. Please don't let this heavy academic name scare you. It's just calculating the center point of any given data using mean, median, and mode. Here is a fun, foolproof way to remember them. Think of the mean as the strict class teacher. The teacher takes everyone's marks and calculates the overall class average. The median is the exact middle child of a family, but here is the catch. You must line the kids up by height first. In math, you always sort the data in ascending order and then find the exact middle number. And mode is simply the most popular kid in the school. It's the number that appears the most frequently in your dataset. Just remember these personas. Finally, the big one, permutations and combinations, affectionately known as PNC. Students always get confused here. Let me give you the ultimate trick to never forget the difference. Use this mnemonic. P for permutation, P for position matters. If you are setting a 4-digit ATM PIN, the position of the numbers absolutely matters. 1234 is not the same password as 4321. Because the order matters, that is a permutation. On the other hand, C for combination, C for choosing. If you're choosing 3 friends out of a group of 5 to go watch a movie, it really doesn't matter who you pick first or second, just who ultimately goes. The order doesn't matter, that's a combination. Makes perfect sense, right? Keep this fundamental fun to crystal clear.
Section 5. Geometry and Next Steps. The final piece.
Geometry caps off the 10-chapter IMAT math syllabus. This is where you bring abstract numbers into the physical, visual world. We are talking about shapes, calculating angles, finding areas, the basic properties of triangles and circles, and a bit of coordinate geometry. The ultimate key to cracking geometry questions is visualization. Do not just stare at the text. If you can quickly draw a rough sketch of what the question is asking on your rough sheet, I promise you've already solved half the problem. It neatly wraps up the entire math section of your preparation.
But look, just reading the syllabus or watching this explainer isn't enough. Execution is absolutely everything. Let's see how you can build your actual prep strategy moving forward. We have some exact, actionable resources provided for you. Number 1, you can book a one-on-one guidance call directly with UDIT. If you need a personalized study strategy, it's best to talk to the guy who actually cracked the system. Number 2, the Italian medical route involves a pretty complex visa and documentation process, coffee paperwork otai. There is a specific academic and documentation guidance form for IMAT 2026 that you should fill out so you don't make any bureaucratic mistakes that could cost you your admission. And number 3, join the IMAT 2025 IMAT Dojo Telegram group. Having the right community is absolutely essential for keeping your morale high. Surround yourself with peers who are on the exact same mission as you. Without the right guidance, hard work only gets you halfway, so please use these resources.
So we have officially laid out the entire ITM blueprint. From the basics of the number system all the way to geometry. You now know exactly what you need to study and how to approach it logically without any fear. The blueprint is right there in your hands. But a plan is nothing without action.
So I'm going to leave you with this one provocative question. Which of these 10 chapters will you start mastering today to build your own bridge to Italy? Don't just dream about it, and definitely don't wait for tomorrow. Pick up a pen, clear your basics, and start building that Italian medical dream right now.